This is TechCrunch. Amazon Pharmacy is launching vending machines for prescription drugs. I'm Imran Sheikh, and your Daily Crunch for Thursday, featuring 3 big tech headlines and a little startup business news, starts right now. When Nick Turley joined OpenAI in 2022 as the head of ChatGPT, he was tasked with commercializing the company's research. Well, he has made great strides toward that goal, growing the product to 800 million weekly active users. Well, now Turley wants to take an even bigger swing, transforming ChatGPT into a new type of operating system full of third-party apps. We sat down with Turley this week on the outskirts of San Francisco's Fort Mason, a former U.S. military post where OpenAI held its 3rd annual developer conference, to discuss how he's thinking about ChatGPT's future. To turn ChatGPT into an operating system, Turley told TechCrunch that he's drawing inspiration from web browsers. You see, over the last decade, browsers have emerged as a new kind of operating system. Not in the literal sense, like macOS or Windows, of course, but like how they've become the main place where people work on computers thanks to a variety of web applications. Turley sees ChatGPT evolving in a similar way, a platform that could change how people interact with software. And I guess just to cover their bases, OpenAI is reportedly developing a browser too. Turley doesn't deny or confirm this, but he does say browsers are, quote, really interesting, unquote. The company's also working with Johnny Ive and a team of longtime Apple designers on a family of hardware devices. Now, given these efforts, it's easy to see how a ChatGPT operating system full of apps could become a central component of OpenAI's consumer ecosystem. You gotta check out our full conversation with Nick Turley at TechCrunch.com. Meanwhile, after OpenAI's video-generating app Sora surged to the #1 position on the U.S. App Store, it has now, technically, experienced a bigger first week than ChatGPT on iOS, according to new data from app intelligence provider AppFigures. Its estimates show that Sora saw 627,000 iOS downloads in its first 7 days of availability, compared with ChatGPT's 606,000 iOS downloads during its first week. This isn't the fairest comparison, however, because ChatGPT was available only in the U.S. during its first week, while Sora is currently offered in the U.S. and Canada at launch. Still, AppFigures says that Canada contributed about 45,000 installed, so the Sora launch was about 96% of ChatGPT's launch, if the data had been based on the U.S. numbers only. This level of consumer adoption is worth noting because Sora remains an invite-only app, while ChatGPT was more publicly available at launch. That makes Sora's performance more impressive. During its first day, Sora saw 56,000 app installs in short order, bumping the app to become the #3 top overall app on the U.S. App Store. By Friday, October 3rd, it reached #1. That surge had already put Sora's debut ahead of other major AI app launches, including Anthropic's Claude and Microsoft's Copilot, and put it on par with xAI's Grok launch. All right, you may want to sit down for this one because Amazon announced on Wednesday that it's debuting prescription vending machines at its One Medical clinics. The new in-office kiosks, which are operated by Amazon Pharmacy, let patients pick up their prescriptions immediately after their appointment. Amazon Pharmacy kiosks will be available at One Medical locations in LA starting in December, and Amazon plans to expand to more locations soon after. How the heck is this going to work? Well, after a provider writes a prescription, patients can choose to have it sent to Amazon Pharmacy for in-office kiosk pickup. Patients then use their phone to check out in the Amazon app, after which medications are typically, quote, ready in minutes, unquote. The kiosks have a range of commonly prescribed medications, including antibiotics, inhalers, and blood pressure medications. Amazon notes that each kiosk's inventory is customized based on the prescribing patterns of its specific office location, and that controlled substances and medications requiring refrigeration are not available through the kiosks. Patients will be able to use the Amazon app to see upfront costs, including available discounts and estimated insurance copays, and connect to a licensed pharmacist via video or phone consultation if needed. Now, U.S. pharmacy chains are struggling. Rite Aid last week closed all of its remaining stores. CVS has closed more than 1,000 stores since 2021, and Walgreens closed 500 stores over the past year. Now to the latest in startup business news, all in about 1 minute with producer Dennis.
Thank you, Imran. And the third-party app store known as AltStore, one of the first companies to offer an alternative app marketplace in the European Union, is preparing to connect its platform with the open social web known as the Fediverse. This move will connect users on other open social apps like Mastodon or Meta's Threads with updates from their favorite apps in a new way. In addition, the startup is announcing its first funding round from outside investors with a $6 million Series A from Pace Capital. The deal gives the venture firm a 15% equity stake in AltStore and will allow the company to hire a team beyond its co-founders. The founders say the new capital will help them capitalize on the potential for alternative app stores both in the EU and beyond as new competition laws are passed. Already, the startup has plans to bring its storefront to markets including Australia, Brazil, and Japan this year. To do so, the company needed to bring on more staff, which the new funds now allow. And that'll do it for me. Imran, back to you.
And that's your Daily Crunch. Today's stories were reported by Aisha Malik, Sarah Perez, Maxwell Zeff, and more awesome TechCrunch journalists. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same tech time, same Crunch channel, and until then, find us at TechCrunch.com.